Hello, my name is Jones H.M. Today, we will discuss defense mechanisms. 1. Repression, for example, the inability to remember the reason for an argument or recall feelings of fear following an automobile accident. 2. Suppression, I had rather not talk about it right now, let us talk about my accident later, etc. 3. Rationalization, for example, a teenage girl who was not asked to the junior prom might tell her friend someone really wanted to date her but felt sorry for Sue and took her to the prom instead. 4. Identification, the imitator, for example from Know Where You also start practice the meme of Fufu Beeve Imbambo in the Weldy 5. Sublimation, for example, a college student who has hostile feelings may re-channel them by joining the debating team. 6. Displacement, for example, a person might disagree at his boss but instead picks a fight with his wife or his children when he is back at home. 7. Compensation, for example, a short girl may become the manager of the girls' basketball team because she is not tall enough to qualify for the team, or an unattractive man may select expensive, stylish cloths to draw attention to himself, or an unattractive woman may dress like a fashion plate to attract attention. 8. Introjection, an example would be a psychiatric patient who claims to be Moses or Jesus Christ or other biblical or well-known person, who is observed dressing and acting like the personage they profess to be. One patient who claimed to be Moses grew a beard and long hair, wore a blanket and sandals and read his Bible daily. He refused to participate in activities unless he was called Moses. 9. Projection examples would be, a man who is late for work states, my wife forget to get the alarm last night so I overslept, or after spilling a glass of milk while playing cards with a friend, a 10-year-old tells his mother, my brother made me spill the milk, he told me to hurry up and play. 10. Regression, for example, a 5-year-old boy who previously was toilet trained and who becomes incontinent when his mother gives birth for a new baby in order to get attention like a newly born baby. 11. Conversion. Examples would be an elderly woman who experiences sudden blindness after witnessing a robbery, or a middle-aged man develops paralysis of his lower extremities after he learns that his wife has terminal cancer. 12. Reaction formation. Overcompensation. Examples would be a young man who dislikes his mother-in-law who acts very polite and courteous towards her, a woman who hates children may talk very lovingly to a friend's young son, or a man who has a strong desire to drink alcohol who condemns the use of alcohol by others. 13. Undoing or restitution. An example would be a young man sends flowers to his fiancée after he embraced her friend at a cocktail party. 14. Denial. For example, a student who is persistently late for a scheduled class because that student is actually very fearful of the topic, so she expresses the fear by being absent from the class, or a person who has just been admitted to a mental hospital states, I am really not sick, I am just in here to get a rest. 15. Substitution, for example, a student nurse in a baccalaureate program who decides she is unable to master the clinical competencies and elects to become a laboratory technician is using the mechanism of substitution. 16. Fantasy, for example, in a popular television soap opera, a young woman character who does not have a child fantasizes she has a child, as she sits in a rocking chair, holding a baby doll, and singing lullabies. 17. Symbolization, for example, the engagement ring symbolizes love and a commitment to another person. Wearing a white wedding gown generally symbolizes the bride's purity or chastity. 18. Isolation, for example, an oncologist is able to care for a terminally ill cancer patient by separating or isolating his feelings or emotional reaction to the patient's inevitable death. He focuses on the treatment, not the prognosis. 19. Dissociation, for example, a woman who was raped was found wandering busy highway in torn, disheveled clothing. When examined by the emergency room physician, the woman was exhibiting symptoms of traumatic amnesia. She separated and detached her emotional reaction to the rape from her consciousness. 20. Intellectualization, for example, a young man may use intellectualization as method of avoiding confrontation with his fiancée if she changed her mind about wishing to marry him.